Yeah.
Okay, we are ready to go ahead.
Okay, then we are back to Pat for the director's report.
Yeah, and you will see before you the September monthly report. I had a note in there, particularly to the treatment plant operations, that the incoming phosphorus concentration is higher than normal, and our bio-P uptake and alum use are not as efficient as normal. Operations and lab are searching for solutions, but for the time being, alum use has had to be increased to avoid a violation. At this time, I do not believe we will need to increase chemical funds. Some kind of good news now that we have to delay this. We didn't have a violation for the month of October, even though it's on September's report. It was coming up at the end of September and through October, but it came down. One of our biggest suspects was flow through the plant through the drought. And as we've had some rain events, everything is coming back around and we're lowering the alum back down. I didn't think we would use chemical funds even if we went through the end of the year without figuring it out, but I think everything's coming back around, so I don't think that's going to be an issue at all, hopefully. So, but everything else, if you go through all the sheets, everything looks pretty normal and on pace with where we have been in the last few months. So, I don't have anything else unless there are questions.
I have no questions. Any other questions? If not, thank you. The next item of business is to receive quotes for the 2020 gas collection and control project for the landfill.
We got 3 bids. This is from Continuum Environmental Services, Ltd. of Richfield, Ohio. Their quote is for $121,470. And I do not see where addendum 1 and 2 were received. Let me double check again. That's something you're going to have to check out. I don't see that they indicated that they received addendums 1 and 2.
Okay.
The next bid is from Fox Contractors Corporation, Fort Wayne, Indiana. They indicate that they did receive addenda 1 and 2. Their quote is for $163,090. The next bid is from American Environmental Group. They are from Richfield, Ohio. They do indicate that they did receive addendum 1 and 2. And their quote is for $144,830. That's it.
Thank you. We will refer those to management for a recommendation at a later time. Thank you to everyone who submitted a quote. The next item of business is the recommendation to award the quote for valve and actuator replacement.
Yes, Madam President and board members. At our last board meeting, we received quotes from 3 different vendors for valve and actuator replacement at the wastewater treatment plant. Todd Hobson, Pat Smoker, and I reviewed the quotes, and it is our recommendation to the board to award this valve and actuator replacement to Trivaco. I would like to say there was an apparent other low bidder, but a clerical error was created a need for them to withdraw their bid, which makes Trivaco the lowest and most responsible company to bid this project. And there's a bid tab attached.
Any questions, or I will entertain a motion?
President
Come on,
Miller,
I think you're muted. Yep, there you go.
motion for recommendation to approve the valve and actuator replacement to Trivaco of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the amount of $54,160.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the award of the valve and actuator replacement to Trivaco of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the amount of $54,160. Any further questions or comments? If not, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Ray,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye,
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
thank you. Motion carries. The next item of business is a recommendation to enter into a contract with Sunbelt Rental for a 1200 amp switch for the wastewater treatment plant.
Yes, Madam President, board members, real quick, I hope this sheet that I gave you wasn't confusing, but this is a rental agreement, or asked to go into a rental agreement with Sunbelt Rental, because we needed to rent a 1200 amp switch to protect our disconnects from our 4160 transformers to our other rented transformers, step-down transformers, for those blowers that we are renting also. Sunbelt Rental, well, the recommendation for this agreement. Sunbelt Rental was the only company that supplied this switch at the time that it was needed. Their cost for the switch is $10,582.89 per month. It's my recommendation to the board to approve this rental, the 1200 amp switch at that same cost per month until it is not needed at our wastewater plant.
How much longer do you think they'll be needed?
We're hoping we can to the end of December.
Okay,
And
and then
was a-
that would be both parts, the switch and the blower.
Yes, and that was a worst case scenario. There's a chance it could be done earlier, but when they gave us like a worst case, it was kind of, we were looking at somewhere in December.
Okay. Any other questions or a motion?
Do Is there enough money in the emergency repair account to cover the cost until?
Yes, we looked at it and yes, at this time.
There is, okay. President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Steens.
I'll make a motion to enter an agreement with Sunbelt Rental of Fort Mill, South Carolina, to rent a 1200 amp switch at a cost of $10,582.89 per month until it is not needed for our wastewater treatment plant.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve an agreement with Sunbelt Rental at a cost of $10,582.89 per month for the 1200 amp switch, as long as needed. I think that's what you said. Any other questions or comments? If none, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
The motion carries. Thank you. The next item of business is the recommendation to approve wastewater residuals permit R-DEI-2020, 21, 22, and 23 for D&E Initiatives LLC.
President Miller.
Yes, Mr. Boxey.
Motion to approve wastewater residuals disposal permit number R-DEI-2020, 21, 22, 23 to Philip Bradley of D&E Initiatives LLC with a DBA of Whitlock's Pressure Wash LLC, PO Box 391, Connorsville, Indiana 47331. This permit's effective October 27th, 2020 and will expire on October 1st, 2023.
Second.
One comment there. I think they had to change that date to November 3rd because of the change in the meeting date.
Oh,
So can we state that it's November 3rd
Yep,
of 2020?
I amend the permit date to be effective November 3rd, 2020 with an expiration of October 1st, 2023.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. Thank you. There's been a motion and a second to approve wastewater residuals disposal permit number R-DEI-2020, 21, 22, 23 to Philip Bradley, D&E Initiatives LLC, DBA Whitlock's Pressure Wash LLC, PO Box 391, Connorsville, Indiana 47331. It will become effective November 3rd, 2020 and expire on October 1st, 2023. Any further questions or comments? If not, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The motion carries. The next item of business is the recommendation to approve groundwater discharge permit GW3-HBR 288WP-1020 for Haber Land Company Limited Ltd. I will entertain a motion.
President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Steens?
make a motion to approve groundwater discharge permit number GW3-HBR 288WP-1020 to Haber Land Company Ltd. of 3724 State Route 122 West, Eaton, Ohio 45320, effective November 3rd of 2020 and expired on October 27th of 2021.
I second.
Oops. Is that one supposed to expire November 3rd, 2021?
Yeah, is that what you said?
No, I said October 27th.
Oh, no, the new.
Okay, I'll amend that motion to become effective November 3rd of 2020 and expire on November 3rd of 2021.
Okay. And
Awesome.
Amon did the second. Okay, thank you. There's been a motion and a second to approve groundwater discharge permit number GW3-HBR WP-1120 to Haber Land Company Limited, 3724 State Route 122 West, Eaton, Ohio. The permit shall become effective November 3rd, 2020 and expire on November 3rd, 2021. Any further questions or comments? If not, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The motion carries. The next item of business is the recommendation to award the bid for wastewater treatment plant grating and railing improvements Phase 3.
Yes, Madam President and Board. We received bids at our last meeting, and we received 3 bids. And our recommendation is to award a contract to Apex Ag Solutions of Richmond, Indiana as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder for the William Edwin Ross wastewater treatment plant grading and railing Phase 3 improvement project for a total not to exceed price of $55,400. And there are funds within the budget to cover that.
Are there any questions, or I will entertain a motion on this?
President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Bakshi?
motion to approve the wastewater treatment plant grading and railing Phase 3 improvements project to Apex AG Solutions in the amount of $55,400.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the wastewater treatment plant and grating and railing Phase 3 improvements project to Apex Ag Solutions in an amount of $55,400. Any further questions or comments? If not, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The motion carries. The next item of business is to award the bid for wastewater treatment plant lab foundation improvements.
Yes, Madam President and Board. This is a project. This actually had originally been paired with the grading and railing project, but we decided because likely different kinds of contractors would do the work, we split it out. So we received bids at our last meeting for this portion of that work, and received 2 bids with the values attached here. And the recommendation is to award a contract to Burco Incorporated of Liberty, Indiana, as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder for the William Edwin Ross wastewater treatment plant lab foundation improvement project for a total not to exceed price of $12,500.
Is there a motion or any discussion?
President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Stevens.
make a motion to enter into a contract with Burco Incorporated to repair the wastewater treatment plant lab foundation for a cost not to exceed $12,500.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second to award the contract for the repair of the wastewater treatment plant lab foundation to Burco Inc. in amount not to exceed $12,500. Any other further questions or comments? If not, Jess, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Greg,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The motion carries. The next item of business is a recommendation to enter into a contract with Matt Napodi for appraisal services.
Yes, Madam President and Board. This is for easements related to our West Side Interceptor project. There are 2 that have been identified right now that are needed, and we are in need of appraisal services to value those easements. So the recommendation is to award a contract to Matt Napodi of Richmond, Indiana, to provide professional appraisal services for up to 2 easements as outlined in the attached. Each being $1,325 for a total not to exceed price of $2,650.
Thank you. Any questions, or I will entertain a motion?
President Miller,
Yes, Mr. Steens?
I'll make a motion to award a contract to Matt Napodi of Richmond, Indiana, provide professional appraisal services for up to 2 easements that are outlined in the attached sheet for a cost of $2,650. Guess that's it.
I will second.
There's been a motion and a second to award a contract to Matt Napodi of Richmond, Indiana, to provide professional appraisal services for up to 2 easements as outlined, for a total not to exceed price of $2,650. Any further questions or comments? If not, Jeff, will you call the roll?
Amon,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. The motion carries. The next item is miscellaneous. Is there any other business to be brought before the board today? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to adjourn. I guess we have Jess call the roll.
Amon,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. We are adjourned.